He just lost 100 points on each missed jump. No, he's not disqualified. It's just they managed to 100 for each jump you don't make. That's a shame.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for James Cook, riding Lincoln. He completed the course in 121 seconds with 176 time penalties and 280 course penalties. His total riding points were 744 points, bringing his total pentathlon points to 2,784. He is currently ranked 11th, representing Great Britain. James Cook also set a pentathlon swimming record yesterday, so let's give him a big round of applause.
Modern pentathlon is the only sport specifically designed for the modern Olympics by the founder of the Olympic movement himself, Pierre de Coubertin, and was first included in the 1912 Olympic Games in Sweden. Modern pentathlon includes 5 sports: fencing, swimming, horse riding, running and shooting, which were each specifically designed to test different aspects of the competitor and to determine the world's best all-round athletes. Most sports only tested a limited number of skills for an athlete, and Pierre de Coubertin wanted something better. He identified the 5 sports very carefully so that the winner could rightfully say that he or she was the best all-round athlete in the world.
Welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina. We're here for the World Cup #1 and we're live here from the Grady Call Center for the combined and riding events. Riding coming up very soon. We've already had about 10 riders participate, and of course these are the World Cup starts, but this is a beautiful city of Charlotte, and the guys have already been through the fencing and swimming. Of course, you probably all know the score by now, how it all works, and we're going to bring you with a leaderboard any second, and it's going to make very interesting reading for sure. There's the beautiful city. Well, that's as it was back then when we recorded, and this is live. And we're just getting to the stage of a few athletes. I think we're currently on number 24, so we've got a little while to go. So if you excuse me a second, what we will try and do is we'll bring up the scores as they stand, so you've got some appreciation of where we all are. So bear with me 1 second and I'll try and bring you that graphic up. There seems to be a delay out on the course at the moment. I think they're doing a bit of rebuilding out there, so not to worry right now. It's an absolutely beautiful day here in Charlotte. It's if it's like this every day, I think I'd like to come and live here. It's absolutely wonderful. And we've had a wonderful competition as well. Now, let's have a look at how things stand after 2 events. So we see that we've got Prokopenko and Woodbridge tied together. Woodbridge finishing 9th and 2nd in the fencing and swimming. Prokopenko winning the swimming, but falling down the field a little bit in the swimming. But that's page 1 of the leaderboard. I know you've got probably some favourites a little bit further down, so we'll carry on. Timochenko there in 9th place, the current World Cup champion from the United States from 2011, looking to defend his title. A few names down there of interest: Morosi, Lesson. These are names we're going to see very shortly coming up on the riding arena. They're still trying to build a fence, so you're not missing out on any action at all. And here we are. This is the next list. So it's it's the Korean athlete Hong Jin-woo, who's just waiting to go out next. And we've had Kinderis, Cook, Karyakin. Those results aren't updated yet. They only update the results right at the very end of the riding competition. And there's the final page. And a few there probably not exactly enjoying themselves at the moment and probably just going through the riding to gain a bit of experience and a bit of practice on the combined. Well, that's how we stand at the moment. And, well, we're going to join the action a little bit early by the looks of things. And I'm going to hand you over to our commentator. I'm very pleased to say my partner in crime here, Eli Bramer from the United States, has joined us. It's always great to have Eli on board, and he'll take you through the rest of the riding event.
Thanks, Adrian. It's great to be back, and welcome everyone to the United States of America. And what a beautiful sunny day out here. I know Adrian and the rest of the crew have been enjoying this. It's a spectacular facility. We talk a little bit about the riding. What you'll notice as we go through this is there is a lot of rails coming down today. The riders who are successful are the ones who are able to keep all but maybe 1 or 2 of the sticks up. An 1160 is a pretty good score today. A lot of turns as the riders go through the course. We saw a lot of rails yesterday. Seen a lot of them again today. Not too many refusals. Seen a lot of them again today. Not too many refusals. Jamie Cook had some difficulties with refusals on his ride a little earlier. Some of the horses are a little smaller here than what we'll see in other countries, and the jumps have been lowered accordingly. But most of the rounds are between 1100 and 1160 today. You'll notice this is one of the difficult turns where they come around after jump number 4. It may be hard to see on the TV. That's a very difficult angle to remake here. A lot of misdirection on this course, and I think that's what's causing the riders a lot of problems. I think the horses are capable, but it's getting the riders turned around a little bit. You'll see that coming around jump number 10 to 11 later on in the course as well. Hong seeming to have a little easier time after that refusal early on jump number 4. I think he fell asleep a little bit. There was a jump standard broken, and the jump crew took about 7 or 8 minutes to get that fixed, during which time the Hung was standing right in front of us. And this is a difficult turn. It's a very, very tight turn. Seen a couple refusals here, and you see Hung having a very difficult time getting the horse through that 11th jump. A lot of rails there toward the end. Unfortunately, this athlete was standing at the start gate for a very long time, and it looked like he had a good warm-up, but that's one of the things that can happen in riding. You're out there, you're feeling really good, and then something sort of derails you, and you're sitting there just waiting, and I think that may have caught up to him. Today the scores are very tight. There was only one athlete, Adrian, if I'm not mistaken, only one athlete finished above 1,000 points in fencing. Is that right? Adrian's trying to put his microphone back together.
I turned my microphone. I was going to have an easy afternoon in the sun.
Yeah, you're saying the training wheels have come off. I'm all on my own here.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah. Prokopenko, I think, fenced over 1,000 points.
Yeah. Well, obviously there's something in the blood with the Prokopenko family at the moment.
Yeah, what about that? What about his wife yesterday?
His wife was pretty hot on the course, wasn't she? She broke the world record for the men as well as the women.
Yeah. How many places did she run up?
She was 18th to 3rd.
So 15 places. It's a good. Well, so far it's a good day for the Prokopenkos. We'll have to check in later on. Up now we have Riccardo De Luca from Italy. He also was caught up a little bit in that jump standard fiasco. He's been out here for quite a while in the warm-up ring. Just a spectacular day out here. Off to Ricardo's left, originally there would be downtown Charlotte. Beautiful city. The venues are very close together here. Only about a 5-minute bus ride between the swimming pool and then the venue where we're at. And it's so tight right now that I think any athlete who only pulls 1 rail, 2 rails, is going to be in great shape. Way too close on the front there. Horse just a little bit over the forehand and nicked the rail going in. He'll have to sit back a little bit, try to keep the horse looking at the sticks. Rub that one. Jump number 3's come down a lot today. Very awkward into 4. This is a somewhat difficult turn. It's beyond 90 degrees. And right after this, there's a tough approach back into jump number 6. You see the rear leg just nicking the back of that combination. Cost him another 20 points. And that could mean a lot today. Everyone's so close. Those 20 points, 5 seconds of combined every time you pull a rail down. Rub that jump, barely stayed up. This has been difficult for a lot of athletes. Bad timing going in, knocked it with the front legs on the second, on B, rear legs on C. Looks like he got the horse put back together again. But that'll be an 11:20 ride. And as tight as it is today, that'll be very disappointing. Losing that many points, especially on the 10th jump, A, B, and C. He took down B and C. That was 40 points on 1 jump. All the riders have been fast enough so far. Without any refusals, you're not going to see any time penalties on this course. It rides pretty nicely, a lot of turns, and successful riders are the ones who are able to get their horses straightened up into the jump on schedule, paying attention. There's so many turns out here that if you don't do that, the horses are going to pull a lot of rails down today. And rails today means a lot of points. With such a close fence and a very close swim, it's going to be a very tight race going into combined today. Up next, we have Alex Nobis from Germany. Alex's girlfriend, of course, Lana Schönebrunn, had a very good day yesterday, claiming yet another World Cup title. Not a real big surprise. Alex, of course, has a fairly solid combined event, so a good ride here will put him. He sat up, got the horse recollected. And, of course, this is where we're seeing a lot of the problems is on this part of the course. A little long going into jump number 8. 9's been pretty easy for most athletes. David's a little tight into that, but let's see how he does on 10 A, B, C. 10A clean, B clean, and barely knocks it down with the front legs on C. 2 rails, call that an 1160, not a bad ride. I think he's probably kicking himself for that 3rd jump. I'm not sure there's a whole lot he could have done on that 10th jump. For the 3rd jump, he had just a little bit tight of a turn going in, and that cost him the rail. And I think we'll see him making a big move in the combined today.
His total riding points are 1,160, bringing his total pentathlon points to 3,232.
David's point score, 3,232.
Our next rider.
Jump crew's checking to make sure everything's fine. We have a problem with jump 10C. The jump crew's standing in front of jump 10C right now. That was a jump that David took down with the horse's front legs. I'm not sure what's going on. They're bringing out a whole new jump standard. It looks like maybe the cup got broken in the process. Perhaps Svoboda hit it a little harder than it looked like. But they're going to have to rebuild that jump. It's 10C. It's come down an awful lot the last couple days. So bear with us here. It's a nice sunny day in Charlotte, North Carolina as we wait for trusty rusty jump crew to set up jump 10C, which almost certainly will be coming down again a few more times before we're done here today. Meanwhile, riders in the warm-up ring are all in a holding pattern. We've got Blagoy Dimitrov from Bulgaria, who's in a holding pattern right here in front of us, in front of the broadcast booth, waiting for that jump to be rebuilt. He can see it. It's about 30 meters in front of him. All right, it looks like Dimitrov is ready to go into the ring now. He stopped right in front of me there and checked in with me. I'm sitting here with a big ice pack on my leg. Asked me how my leg's doing. I think I'm probably feeling a little better right now than he is. The nerves have got to be hitting him going into the ring here. He just told me, though, he feels pretty good about his horse. Seems like he's going into the ring with about as much confidence as you can have right before hitting a 15 jump, 12 obstacle course. He salutes the judge, and we'll see how he does.
Representing Bulgaria, riding Frankie with 2,084 points. He's currently ranked 19th.
Goes in with 2,084 points. Again, a clean ride or even anything close to that means a lot today. The athletes are so tight going into this event. One or two rails can mean the difference between a fantastic finish and finishing pretty far back. Horse seems like he's a little strung out running at the jumps, although he's picking his strides nicely. Again, so much of this is just getting to the jump on schedule, letting the horse do his thing. It's not like normal riding. You're not going to teach the horse how to jump in the 20-minute warm-up. Horse is going to do what he's going to do. The rider has to adapt very quickly. And so far, 4 jumps. Dimitrov looks pretty solid out there. One rail pulled out with his front legs. He's looking a little disorganized. He's going to have to use these corners to pull the horse back together. This is where things get a little more twisty, 7, 8, 9, 10. From my perspective, 7 looks like it should be more difficult than it is, although it seems to be very forgiving on the horses. He went into both 7 and 8 with a little disorganized, yet he was okay. I think that'll cost him on 10. 10A clean, 10B clean, and he makes a liar out of me, 10C clean. Oh, big problems going into jump number 11, and 12's right after it. And somehow bunny hops over 12, gets over 12 cleanly. Well, folks, that was not pretty the last couple jumps there, but he got through 10 cleanly, knocked the rail down on 11, and then bunny hopped over 12. Only 2 rails. I had to listen on that because I couldn't believe it. There was a few bad jumps out there, but only 2 rails. He should be happy with that. Given how he looked coming out of jump number 9, he was very fortunate not to pull more rails on jump number 10. That's the name of the game here. It doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be effective. Up next, for you French fans out there, we got a pair of French athletes who will be coming into the ring in just a moment.
Do we have our cameras ready for the live broadcast? Are our cameras ready for the live broadcast? Right now we have Lauren Hollis representing France, riding Samson. With 2,084 points.
We now have Hollis from France, who's riding Samson. He'll be followed by his teammate, Jean-Max Barreau. One of the bigger horses out here today. A lot of power. A little disorganized getting into that first jump. His first 2 jumps are actually kind of low. You can see on jump number 2, he rubbed it with the hind legs and pulled it. Just because they're a little lower, jump number 3 is low also, and that's come down a lot today. The horses aren't comfortable with the distance going in. They're going to rub those jumps, and these jump cups are really shallow, and the rails are coming off very, very easily today. Saw the same thing yesterday with the women's competition. A lot of rails. Looking a little more organized now as he goes into the more twisty part of the course, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 7 coming down. Sort of a rare rail for 7. Looks just a little disorganized. That could hurt him badly on 10. He rubbed jump number 9, barely stayed in the cups. And now jump number 10, A down, B down. And he just took about 20 centimeters off of each of those jumps on obstacle number 10 and barely clears 11. And it was all willpower to get over 12. It's a big horse, but not a lot of power there. A lot of rails down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rails by my count. I think that was an 1,100-point ride. He'll be a little disappointed with that today. That's not going to do well. So many rides today between 1,100 and 1,180. Now they're calling 60 course penalties, but I count 1, 2. I count 5 jumps down, so I believe that. Oh, they're saying 6 rails now. 1,080, I think that's probably correct. Yeah, that's correct. He pulled 3, 7, 8, and 3 rails on 10.
Which brings his total pentathlon points to
3,164 pentathlon points for all you out there who are trying to keep track of where people stand. Now we're waiting on his teammate, Jean-Max Barreau, who'll be riding horse number 23, Bailey. Jean-Max circling right in front of us now. It's a little smaller of a horse, but Jean-Max isn't too tall himself, so it looks like a good fit. Horse looks a little tired. It's the second day. This will be the 4th round for each of these horses you're watching right now. Rider's going to have to give him a little more leg. It's a little warmer out here. Now the reason for the delay, I'm not sure what you're seeing on the camera. They're swapping out another jump standard. It's about the 4th time today we've had a delay for these jump standards. Not really sure why they're doing that, not just swapping out the cups, if the cups are breaking or what's happening, but sort of carnage for jump standards today. They've swapped, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are sitting on the sidelines. We've got about another 4 we can go through before they're going to have trouble resetting the jumps as they were. And that's what the delay is. Jean-Max Barreau talking to his coach. And actually we have a change up. I'm looking to see who's going in here. Oh, I think potentially there was a change-up. Jean-Max was scheduled to ride the same horse as Sam Saxon was on earlier. Sam Saxon's horse threw a shoe in warm-up. I believe he got on a reserve horse. All right, this is Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe from Ireland. We'll see Jean-Max Barreau here in a little bit. He's still warming up. Ireland coming out with a very strong pentathlon team this quad, this 4 years. 4 years ago we had almost no representation from Ireland, no substantial representation from Ireland. Now we've got athletes in the final. They're quite regular. It's great to see another program up and coming from these guys. Now coached by Mark McKay, former coach from Egypt. Horse chipped in a little bit there, but again, it doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be effective. And a long takeoff there. Long takeoff going into jump number 6A, cost him the rail with the hind legs on 6B. See if he can get reconsolidated going into 7, 8, 9, and 10. What a great move. Horse tried to squiggle out of jump number 7. You saw the whip come out. Sheer determination by the rider. Same thing happened on jump number 8. This could be difficult. Oh, we have an issue. Jump number 11, the rail came down. I don't know what they're going to do. 10A, 10B, 10C, he can't jump. He pulled jump 10C. The rail already came down. You'll just see it right there. I don't know what they're going to do with this. The rail fell over. It wasn't the rider's fault. When he went over jump number 9, there was a big clunk right in front of the jump crew, and the second rail came down. I don't believe they're going to have any way to fix that other than to say it wasn't his fault. But he pulled 2 rails on jump 10. That'll be pretty costly, even though 11 won't cost him. Having real issues with these jump cups today. Calling it 80 course penalties. 11:20. 32-36 pentathlon points. As it stands right now, I think that's correct. As I said, there were some problems with jump number 11, but it fell down before he got there. So 5 jumps down, they'll only charge him for 4. Now we have Simon Staskiewicz from Poland. I probably butchered that name, but Simon having a fairly solid day here, but they're telling him to hold up. He was given the whistle and the go-ahead. We're having trouble again with jump number 10C. Looks like the jump crew is going to have to change the standard again. And this has been difficult for some of the riders today. Simon's on the course right now waiting. He was actually whistled to start. He saluted, whistled to start, and it looked like jump number 10C fell down. Now they're having to figure out. They're bringing out another jump standard. 5 jump standards that have come down. I think we got 3 more we can bring out. 2 more we can bring out, or else we're going to have problems today. Simon's out there on Romeo, just sort of dancing around the center of the ring. Might not be a bad thing for this horse. This horse looks like he's a little energetic, and Simon's probably happy to have a minute out there to just calm the horse down a little bit. The horse is prancing around, looks like he's showing off to the crowd.
I've just got to say that our team are just above and beyond the call of duty. We've got our English duct tape there. We call it gaffer tape back in the UK. Mark is helping fix the fence. I think Mike earlier on was sorting out the sun coming through the window. So not only we're a TV crew, but we're helping out.
You guys are the everything crew, Adrian. You guys are the experts now. You're here at every pentathlon on every continent. We'll see you in Rio next week, right? Yeah. But you have to fly back to. You're flying a long way between here and there. We're flying out to Houston tomorrow night. You have to fly all the way back to. Where are you flying back to? Great Britain?
Yeah, we're flying back to the UK.
I don't know how well
cup of coffee.
I don't know how well you know your geography, but the UK is not on its way to Rio de Janeiro.
I was never very good at that at school. Yeah, I think we did something wrong. It might have been just because we saved $50 or something, so we went back home
it's
for
about
a day.
$1 an hour for traveling. All right, Simon on the course now. Simon Staskiewicz from Poland, riding Romeo. Jump number 1 clean, number 2 demolished. That jump didn't stand a chance. He whacked it with his front legs. The horse is on the wrong lead. Nice little flying lead change. Let's see if he can put the horse together here. The horse has got a big lopey stride. The horse was very excited to get on course, dancing around. All of a sudden he's on course. He looks a little bit lackadaisical out there. That could hurt him as we get into 7, 8, 9, and 10 today. Pulls both rails on 6, A and B. That'll be very costly. Most difficult part of the course is yet to come. In a very bad position going into 7. He's lucky he didn't come off. A worse rider would have come off there. Got a little disorganized going into it, but great sense of balance and athleticism kept him on the horse. Very bad position going into jump number 9, and 10's going to be difficult unless he can put the horse together going in here. A clean, B clean. or B with a rail rather, so one rail. And just whacks jump number 11. And there's, you know, we're having a big problem with the jump cups here. That jump cup on 11 came off. That was going to come off anyway, but he barely touched it, and the cup itself fell out. I don't think it's causing more rails to happen, but it's definitely causing delays on the course, as we've got about 6 jump crew out here now trying to fix the jumps. I don't think he's going to be very happy with this. Riders are looking for an 1160, 1180 today. I don't believe we've had any clean rounds today. It's been a very difficult ride. Karyakin, Sergey, well, you know, when you're the world champion from a year and a half ago, I guess you're entitled to a clean ride every now and then when no one else is, right? His teammate Andrei Moiseev will not be pulling any rails today. One of the big stories, of course, 2-time Olympic gold medalist Andrei Moiseev. Not a good competition to be an Olympic medalist at, as we saw the Olympic silver medalist failing to make the final in the same group. Same as Andrei Polivka as well.
It was quite an incredible group, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a difficult group, and I mean, just carnage. I was watching Andrei Polivka. I think he finished 13th. Moiseev had a bad third shoot. It wasn't even in contention, and Krunglukas, I think, gave up on the second round. It was just an amazing group. Saw Jean-Max Moreau out of that group, the French athlete who will be up here in just a minute. He ran his way into the final, but isn't that the story of this competition? 100 athletes in the semifinal. Biggest competition outside of Europe ever, I believe.
And the quality was excellent.
Everyone. Top. I think of the top 50 in the world, there was something like 45 or 46 athletes here.
Yeah.
And that's probably accounted for by some countries that had sick athletes. I think Robert Kaza from Hungary wasn't competing because of an illness. But aside from that, everybody in the world's here.
Absolutely.
It's sort of like the World Championships.
Here's another fence being rebuilt.
Yep.
It can hardly give you a lot of confidence for what you're about to receive when every 5 minutes they seem to be having to rebuild fence with spare parts.
Well, and that's Adrian. If you look over here, just off to our left, you can see the carnage. That we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jump standards. We're about to have 6 go next to it, and then look farther over to the right, and you'll see 1 lonely jump standard remaining.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to start cannibalizing the warm-up jumps here if we don't watch out.
So somebody better get down to Best Buy pretty quickly to see what they've got available.
Now, apparently our only clean ride so far has come from Russian athlete Karyakin, of course, the world champion. Here's a world silver medalist who's absolutely would not be surprised to see him at the top of the podium multiple times this year. The young athlete from Russia, Alexander Lesson, who's riding number 19 socks. Such a deep Russian team. You're either a world champion or a former world number 1 or an Olympic gold medalist if you're on the Russian team out here. It's a very, very good team. Of course, the top athlete from Russia today so far is Ilya Frolov. We'll see him. He will go into riding in 4th place, and with a fantastic run, if he shoots well, he could be a real lethal threat today. Jumps all rebuilt. Lesson on the course. I think if he rides an 1160, 1180, he's in very good shape to potentially move all the way up into the top 5. Three clean so far. Quarter of the way through the course. Most difficult part coming. Very awkward going into jump number 4. He's got a long way but a difficult turn to get ready for jump number 5. And that horse taking off from a mile away. This could cost him on the combinations. Gets cleanly through. Just kissed jump 6B, but it didn't come down. As long as the jump's sitting up there, he'll be happy. No problems on 7. Little S curve into 8. No problems there. Oh, that was not pretty. It might hurt him going into 10. Let's see how he does on 10. Everyone's had trouble with this horse. Almost didn't jump. 10 AB, 10 B clean, 10 C clean. He's got 2 more jumps. 1 more and he'll be the second athlete today. Only the second athlete to go clean. And wouldn't you know it, he's the second Russian to go clean today, too. What is up with the Russians riding today? The only ones who can seem to get through this course with all the sticks up. What an unbelievable ride from the former #1 ranked in the world silver medalist, Alexander Lesson from Russia. What a statement he has made with that ride. You're going to see him later on in the combine, and he's going to try to make another statement. Coming from the deep Russian team, I'm sure he's battling for an Olympic spot, making his case out there for why he should be the young man to represent Russia at the next Olympics, and that's a good start for him. Next up, we have Adam Morosi. Talk about another decorated athlete. Adam's from Hungary and currently ranked 13th, but given how difficult people have been getting through this course, and to talk about difficult, Adam cannot get the horse on the right lead. His left leg is way back trying to cue that horse. Horse is only going to go on the left lead. Adam's trying to get him onto the right lead. There he goes, swaps onto the right lead. Not that it's critical, but you really don't want that horse to be lopsided going in. Very distracting. Of course, now the horse having no problem staying on that right lead. And rubs jump number 3. That'll cost him 5 seconds in the combined. And after a Russian athlete going clean, puts a lot of pressure on every single athlete. Great sense of feel. I love the way Adam jumped that. Just got off the horse's back, practically threw the horse over the jump cleanly. This horse is barely clearing every single jump. Adam, of course, an experienced rider. Just getting off the horse's back, doing his job in the pentathlon, which is getting the horse to the jump on schedule, getting off the back, just sneaking over jump number 8. Could see a difficulty here on 10. Driving him through A, through B, through C. Still only one rail so far. He'll be happy with this. Tough turn. Very difficult turn. Bunny Haas over 11. That's the second time we've seen that today. And he's going to be real happy. Just one rail. He had trouble getting that horse on the course. To come out with an 11.80, he's going to be ecstatic with that. Well, that'll put him right up there in contention as well. Well ridden by Adam. Not an easy horse to ride. He helped that horse over almost every single jump. That's how you do it in pentathlon, folks. It doesn't have to look pretty, but he was helping that horse over every single jump, and he gets rewarded with only one rail on 11.80, one of the top rides today. Adam's going to be ecstatic with that. He's going to have a great finish if he can hold it together in the combined.
Our next rider from Korea, riding 3, is Jung from Korea. Is currently ranked 12.
Next up, we have Jinhwa Jung from Korea riding Pre, horse number 16. Again, just a spectacular day out here in Charlotte. Just a couple of clouds in the sky. It's not warm. It's sunny, but it's not cold, not warm. Perfect conditions for the combined later on today. So our Korean athlete endeavors on the course. He's going to need to get that horse looking at the jumps. That horse did not look at jump number 2. A little sloppy. Picked his nose up. He's going to need to keep the horse looking at the jumps, especially as we get these tight turns. He just kissed jump number 3, but it didn't come down. This may help this horse and rider combination, some of these turns coming up, because that horse seems to like to charge at the jumps, and if he doesn't have a whole lot of time to look at it, he might jump a little cleaner. See, he's not looking there. Probably should have come down on 6A. Very fortunate. 6A stayed up. Love how the rider's got his head on a swivel. He's looking ahead. There's a lot of turns on this course. A mature rider looks ahead, plans the turns, listens to the horse, and picks the right timing. And all in all, I'd say he's done a great job of holding this horse together. Looks like he's got his foot on the brake pedal the entire time. And that'll cost him dearly. That's 40 points just on jump number 10. 60 points overall. He shouldn't be too upset with that. If he'd been able to get the horse to look at jump number 10 a little bit earlier, just pay a little bit more attention, I think he could have gotten through that with maybe just one rail. Probably not a clean round on that horse today, no matter what he did. So he should be reasonably happy with that, but it will cost him 15 seconds compared to Alexander Lesson from Russia as he goes into the combined. Next up, we have Jean-Max Barrault from France. Jean-Max is actually in 17th place. He's riding out of order due to a change of horses.
Next up, we have Jean-Max Barrault, representing France, riding Bailey. He has 2,104.
They say he's riding Bailey. If that's the case, then Bailey would have gotten a new shoe put on him. He threw a shoe while Sam Saxon, the U.S. athlete, was riding him in the warm-up ring. Jump crew still on the course. I'm not sure. They've whistled for John Max to start, but it looks like jump crew sort of scampering off the course here. I tell you, you don't like it when the jump crew is part of the broadcast. Seen but not heard. Jump 1 and 2 clean for Jean Max. He was injured for a time after the 2008 Olympic Games. Great runner. Kissed jump number 4 there, and probably should not have come down. That was just barely touched. But some of these jumps, I tell you, if you whisper at them, they're going to come down. Bad timing going into the first jump, and that caused the rail on the second jump. So much of this is timing and distance, and jump number 6B came down because of that approach. Good clean on 7, little S curve here into 8. Little disorganized, but he's got some time before 10. Horse wanted to stand off from that a little bit. I think he's going to have to carry the horse through this jump, or he's going to pull a rail or two. Bad timing into A, caused the rail on B. Now the difficult turn into 11. Very bad timing on 11. Another rail, and again, a little poor timing on 12, but he was able to get off the horse's back. I think he'll be disappointed with that. Just didn't quite seem to fall in sync with his horse. It's so difficult on a pentathlon ride. He's been out there for a while in the warm-up ring, but was not able to, of course, do any more than the 5 jumps allowed in the warm-up, but he's been sitting on the horse's back for a really long time. Not sure that did him any service. 4 rails total and 11:20. That'll move him into 8th for now. Of course, he'll fall pretty far back from there because there's many more athletes ahead. Might finish around 15th for Jean-Max Barrault. We now have Woo Jin Hwang from Korea riding horse number 13, Priscilla. Again, the jump crew, this is a little disorganized. He's already been whistled onto the course. Jump crew still putting up jump number 4. Not sure why. I think maybe they're a little behind from earlier and they're trying to make up some time. And just charging it at jump number 1. He's going to have some trouble. Yep, there he just nails jump number 2. He's going to have to get this horse a little more in control. On the wrong lead going around the corner, he's going to have to swap leads to get on balance into 3. There he goes. And way too close to 3. Blast that jump cup. I think we're about to see our last jump standard make its foray into the competition. Adrian's laughing at me here. Adrian, there's just one more jump standard out there. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have the jump crew. They're going to have your crew out there. They're going to have your crew standing out there holding the jumps if this keeps up.
Yeah, I think the practice jumps might start getting hit.
Yeah.
And they're getting battered as it is.
That's right. All right, now the S curve into 8.
To answer your question, Eli, I think they are behind time and they're trying to rush on, but obviously got to be very careful about the safety issue.
That's right. Just nails jump number 9. There's going to be a number of rails off here. He pulls A cleanly over B, barely over C. and very disorganized going into 11, but pulls it off somehow. And clean over 12. Four rails out there. He's going to have an 11:20. Seems like Groundhog Day with these 11:20s going on. But I tell you, that's gonna really make this combine tight. It's going to be so close. There's almost nothing happening in the ride. We're not seeing catastrophes. We're seeing almost everybody ride in the 1100s and almost everybody ride between 1120 and 1160.
Well, Huang just dropped below Lesson and Mimosi, so currently Lesson leads Mimosi out of the riders that have gone out there. So,
do you know how far Karyakin moved up with that clean ride?
I can't tell on my screen in front of me. I'm just looking at the screen that everybody's watching back home.
This is going to be a very exciting finish to the competition.
But we'll hope you're enjoying the graphics that we're putting up here. You know, we're trying something new, which I think works a lot better, is that we're assuming everybody gets a clear round. We're giving everybody 1,200 points. So the graphics you see on the screen now showing Nick Woodbridge at number 1 and Prokopenko is actually tied equal first as well. But it just means that it's just more information. So now Petroni, you can see exactly what position Petroni's in. So he comes in 10th position. And of course he can only go downhill because he can only drop points here.
That's a little sad, isn't it? Although that's kind of, as an athlete, how you view the ride. There's really no winners out of this. There's just sort of degrees of losers.
Damage limitation.
Yeah. Although I think both Russian athletes so far will probably be viewed in the hindsight as the winners here. Petroni on course now, 1 and 2 clean. Very powerful horse. Bounding around to jump number 3. Barely touches that, man. That cup just does not want to stay in the jump. He did hit it, but almost any other jump out there, I don't think that would have come down. That'll cost him 5 seconds of combined. Very precious 5 seconds today. A little bit of a tough turn on a fiery horse into 6A and B. And now he sort of hits the zigzag portion of the course. Seems to be getting along nicely with his horse, but we'll see how he hits the turns. Cleanly over 7, a little S-curve into 8 now. Little long. If he does that on the triple, it'll cost him 1, if not 2 rails. And short going into 9. See how he pulls off jump number 10. 10A clean, B clean, C down. Not too bad. 2 rails. That'll cost them a total of 10 seconds on the Russians. Petroni on 1160, not too shabby on a day like today. That'll be one of the top rides.
He has 40 course penalties, and his riding points are 1,160, bringing his total pentathlon points to 3,324.
3,324 points for Petroni from Italy. Those of you out there keeping track at home. Up next, Pavlo Tomashenko from the Ukraine.
Let's give a big round of applause for all of these great horses who have been so excellent throughout this entire event.
We're going to see Pavlo's teammate, Pavlo Korpolyansky from the Ukraine, coming up in just a couple rounds. 2 Ukrainians in the top 10 right now.
10C's just
Having
been
a very solid day.
having its 3rd reincarnation at the moment. It looks like our universal duct tape didn't do the job, and I tell you what, the local bin men here are going to be wondering what I don't know what they call them in the States, the dustmen, the refuse collectors.
Yeah,
they're going to wonder what's in their boxes.
Yeah, whole bunch of jump standards. I tell you, I think we're going to have your film crew out there next holding up the jump standards.
Okay, there's another one.
Look at the form with which he carries off that jump
I know.
standard.
There's a former pentathlete. Oh, that's
not good. Another one hits the graveyards of jump standards over here. They must have found another one because there's still one remaining in the stockpile. And they're having a problem with jump number 3 as well. Jump crew's calling the course designer over to try to get a clarification. Pablo has already saluted the judge. It looks like they're going to let him start, but jump crew's out there having issues. I'd like to see him hold up. This is not good. We don't want them to have to stop.
Yeah, he's been whistled to stop.
Yep, now he's been whistled to stop.
Yeah,
I'd really like to see them wait until the jumps are all put back up. It'll only take us a couple more minutes, but it's so distracting for the athletes. Pablo is now getting directions to wait.
Well, you're never surprised when you see something new, do you? And
not in this sport.
I was reminding Margot when she did the walk of a walk of the course. You wouldn't have seen this on our webcast, and I said to our guys, I said, is she going to miss one of the fences out as she goes round?
Oh, that's harsh.
That was a low blow, wasn't it?
Yeah, last year, World Cup #1, you and I were watching that live in Palm Springs, and in front of a hometown crowd, Margot was poised to potentially win a medal. Missed jump number 9. She was heading back to the stable, just swerved right around that sucker, went from 8 to 10.
And she had a medal. Well, you can never say, but she had an excellent chance of a medal.
In front of a hometown crowd, too. That would have been a great position for her. Of course, she's not feeling well. She's been sick the last month and opted not to compete here. Hopefully we'll see her back before the end of the World Cup season. But, she's already qualified for the Olympics. So that's I know that's big on her mind that she doesn't have to worry about that. She'll be training for London.
Absolutely. She can take her time. Well, we've done an interview with her, and we'll be getting that interview up onto the pentathlon.org website over the next few days. We had a nice little long chat with Margot. And it was interesting seeing Charlotte, her sister, with a very similar running style. It was almost uncanny. She ran with her arms low down.
Isabella,
sorry.
Charlotte's our city.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, very similar running style. Unfortunately for her, somewhat of the same demons in shooting that Margot's faced over the years as well. Pablo out on course. You might hear some yelling in the background. There was a little confusion in the warm-up ring. We almost had a collision. But Pablo cleanly over 3.
Well, with all these delays, Eli, I've got to say, I've never seen so many people in the warm-up arena at the same time.
That's right.
So I think they're sticking to their times, and there's a few horses out here that have been out half an hour, so we're stretching the 20 minutes.
Well, that's right, and it doesn't actually help the riders because they can still only jump 5 warm-up jumps. And quite frankly, when you're on the second round, every time I ride a horse in the second round, I try not to work them too much because the horses get tired. They've jumped already once yesterday, so this is their 4th round. If you figure 25 minutes per rider, that's 50 minutes per day. That's a lot of riding. So it's not really an advantage to these riders to have any more time. Pablo doing all right, though. Just 1 rail so far. Pulled jump number 5. And B, 2 rails, but he'll be happy with that if that's all he has. And cleanly over 12. He'll take an 11.60 and take that one to the bank today. Going into the top 10, he'll almost certainly stay there going into combined. He had a great combined in the semifinal. Ran way up from, I think, around 20th place and made the final.
Well, Pavlo Timochenko won in Palm Springs last year, and I think
he could be competitive for a medal here. Now, he did have a very hard run in the semifinal. I know we were in the same group, and he barely made that into the semifinal. So probably a little tired, but he'll be starting out the combined in the top 10. For sure he'll like that.
Cal Zonglong coming up next. Interestingly, Pavlo Timochenko was world ranked #1 at one stage last year. And considering he really came in from the cold, and that was almost a breakthrough victory for him, just shows how the rankings are very very sort of tightly knit around a very short time period. And if you have one victory, you can really shoot up those rankings.
Well, that's right. And then, of course, we're going to see a huge change up at the end of this year because we got two 80-point competitions coming at the end of the season in 2 weeks, World Championships and World Cup Final. You're going to see big change-ups coming right at the end of the year. Of course, all the athletes competing for those final Olympic spots in Italy and then in Chengdu, China. Of course, that beautiful facility in Chengdu. Difficult to get there, but once you're there, wow, it's a spectacular place. Now we have Cao from China knocking down rail number 2.
Well, I always think that you know how difficult it is for the Chinese athletes to actually compete anywhere else.
Of course, we like to say that here in America too, because we always have about a 15-hour flight. And then I talked to Ed Fernan, the Australian athlete, and he just looks at me. Takes them about 24 hours. Australia's close to nothing. So far, just one rail though for Cao. Having a big time getting into jump number 6. He'll get a refusal for that and maybe time penalties. That's going to cost him a total of 40 just for the refusal, and I think he'll get time now as well. Oh, and knock down 2 rails. That's an 80-point jump, not including time. This will cost him dearly. On a day like today, it's been a long time since we've seen him ride below 1,100 points, and he's just going to do it. Having difficulty on that S-curve, almost coming to a stop. I'd like to see a little more impulsion. I think he's being a little too conservative on the horse. Got the horse choked up quite a bit. Bounces jump number 9. That thing came out of the cups, landed back in. Won't really matter today. He's pretty far back. Dex jump number 10B having a difficult time getting into 11 and won't make it. 2 refusals so far. Very, very disappointing for this athlete. He's come a long way to get out here to Charlotte. Seeing his day just disappear from him. And most of his points coming from jump number 6 and jump number 11. A refusal and 2 rails on obstacle number 6. A refusal and 1 rail on obstacle number 11. That's going to be a disastrous ride for him today. He has no chance of a good finish. Very disappointing having a good solid day and all the opportunity in the world coming up. He'll be out of any contention for a good place.
Well, that puts him 50 seconds behind the leader as it stands. He drops down to 12th place. Petroni, Timochenko, Morosi and Lesson are above him already from athletes that were below him before this. So, and there's a few others. But 12th is the worst it can be. So he could go up from here on in, depending on what else happens.
I think very disappointing, though, all things considered. Starting that well. Here we have Amro El Jaziri, Dr. Amro El Jaziri. Lives in Cairo. He's been out in Colorado the last few weeks with many of these athletes enjoying a training camp at altitude. His brother faltered in the semifinals, went from second place down to 13th. First man out of the final in group number A. Amro defeating his demons in the chute, having a fantastic combined event, more than enough to put him in the final, and he's coming into this ranked number 7. Of course, he's a great swimmer, had a fairly solid fence today. A little strange to see him a couple body lengths behind, but when Jamie Cook's out there, everyone's going to be a couple body lengths behind. Through 1 and 2 cleanly, glancing back to see if he got it. Of course, a little on his forehand going into jump number 3. He's kind of lucky he didn't pull that. And rubbing jump number 4. He may actually thank his lucky stars for that if the horse knocked that hard enough that he picks his feet up. This horse is acting a little clumsy. Amro's at risk of pulling a lot of rails if he can't find a way to get the horse to pick his feet up. There he goes. 6B comes down. He'll have a difficult time going through 10 on this horse unless he can find a way to really get the horse moving a little bit better. S-curve here. Just horse is hitting everything and nails jump number 9. That'll come down too. Here's jump number 10. Difficult jump for a horse like this. A clean, B clean, C clean. Excellent work by Amro El Jaziri getting him through clean. 11 clean, and nails jump number 12. Came a little too close to 12. I think he'll be a bit disappointed with a couple of those rails, although given how many rails he hit, he's very fortunate that he only had a few rails come down. If every rail had come down that he hit, that would have been a disaster. 3 rails is what they scored him. An 1,140-point ride. Now on chorus, another name that I probably will not do justice to, Stanislaw Zaraliu from Belarus, riding summer. He goes into this ranked 6th. Very, very tight contention at the top. Again, only one athlete broke 1,000 points in fencing. That was Mikhail Prokopenko from Belarus, his teammate. Very fortunate he doesn't just demolish jump number 2 there. I don't know how he didn't pull a rail on that. He's going to need to get a little more consolidated, or else this is going to be a difficult course. A little cleaner on 3. Nice big athletic horse here. If he can stay off the horse's back, that'll be the key to success going around the course today. Bad timing going into jump number 6A. Cost him a rail. Have to watch jump number 10 and see if the same thing happens on the triple combination. Sort of wrestling the horse around that S-curve and almost coming to a standstill. Must have put a lot of leg on to get the horse over jump number 8. Bounces jump number 9, but no rail. Here comes jump number 10. Very difficult to get through that clean. A clean. B comes down. C will come down. It's where a lot of athletes who are getting lucky earlier in the course are having problems. He'll pull jump number 11. Breaks the cup again. There's the story of the day, though. These cups keep on breaking. He'll be a bit disappointed with that. But for jump number 10, that would have been a very, very good ride. 11:20, if my math is correct. It looked like 4 rails came down. Of course, 2 on obstacle number 10 itself. 10B, 10C. A lot of riders you'll see, they're having trouble on the single jumps, and they're not paying for it. But, man, they're paying for it on the triple combination and sometimes on the double. And, of course, 60 out of the 80 points that athlete lost were on the combinations alone. Shows you how difficult those combinations can be. And up next from a similar part of the world, we got Pavlo Kropilyansky. Pavlo's brother Dimitro, of course, qualified for the Olympics at European Championships. Pavlo was in very good condition to qualify there as well. Had a very difficult time in the combined at Europeans. Fell out of contention to win his Olympic qualification slot, so he is the Kropilyansky to watch now as he's trying to win his first Olympic slot. His brother represented the Ukraine at the last Olympics and did not make the final today. Didn't fence that well in the semifinals. Brother Dimitro did not fence that well in the semifinals, so only 1 or 2 Kropilyanskys in the final today. 5th place for Pavlo Kropilyansky going into the ride. He's going to want a clean ride here. He's had trouble with the combined. There'll be a lot of pressure on him today no matter what he does in that combined event. He's got to win a lot of points if he wants to join up with his brother at the Olympic Games this summer. Of course, he's got his teammate Pavlo Tomoshenko as well. Ukraine could easily qualify 3 athletes for the Olympics. Not doing himself much of a favor there early. Horse getting a little strung out and costing him 20 points. 5 seconds of combined on 2, another 5 on 3. And another 5 on on jump number 4. It's 15 seconds he just gave up in the combined. The first 4 jumps alone, just tearing through this course. I think he'll need to find a way to slow this horse down. Way too fast going in there. That'll cost him jump number 6B. He's now giving up 20 seconds just on the first half of the course of combined events timing. Just tearing around the course. Nails jump number 9. That's 5 jumps down. He's going to be very disappointed with this. 10B down, 10C down. That's 7 jumps down. Very disappointing. 11 down. And hits 12. Probably doesn't matter at that point compared to what he would like to do. Did himself absolutely no favor going into the combined event. I'm sure he'll be very, very disappointed with that. Horse just seemed to get ahead of him a little bit. Got out there, was a little fast, very, very uncoordinated.
Well, while the judges are doing their calculations, that's put Kopolyansky down into 10th place.
You know, Adrian, he struggled sometimes with that combined, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That got him at Europeans. We'll have to keep an eye on him in the combined and see how he does.
Yeah. Well, wherever there's a loser, there's a beneficiary. And I'm going to just tell you now, I believe Alexander Lesson is now in 5th place. And he came in 14th. And I think Mavosi is in 6th place. So
and what a dangerous couple athletes to have sitting in those positions.
Well, yeah. You'd have discounted these guys. Looking at this sheet, see Mavosi 13, Lesson 14. But now they're 5th and 6th at least. They can only get better. There's 4 athletes to go.
And it's going to be so razor tight. The men are starting to shoot so fast right now that any mistake can be absolutely devastating.
Yeah.
Talk about an athlete who knows that riding into the ring right now. Ilya Frolov from Russia. What a load of pressure on him. How many rails, how many points have the Russians had deducted from them today in riding?
Yep, 2 clear rounds.
2 clear rounds.
So
they have had no penalties in the ride. Ilya Frolov going into the ride. I remember a ride he had in 2008 at the World Championships. Were you out there, Adrian? We had the pool broke.
No, I wasn't, actually.
In Hungary in 2008, the pool broke.
No.
So we did shooting, then we did fencing, and then we did riding. And Ilya, of course, is a fantastic run swimmer. He had either a clean ride or 1 rail, but he was leading going into the swimming. We just had swimming and running left, and I went up to him and I said, he's the fastest run swimmer in the world. And I said, Ilya, you're the first person ever in pentathlon who knew they were going to be a world champion before the swim. Of course, he won Worlds in 2008, part of a very strong Russian team. He'd like to go out there and put his mark on a 2nd Olympic berth. Had a disappointing finish at the 2008 Olympic Games. Tough ride out there. Always struggled a little bit with riding. He struggled somewhat with the combined. But so far, 3 jumps clean. No penalties so far for any Russian athletes in riding. And Ilya is such a fast runner. If he shoots well, has a good ride, he could very, very easily be on the top of the podium today. 5 jumps clean so far. 6A, 6B clean. That's a difficult combination for a lot of athletes today. Now he gets into the more twisty, turny part of the course. We'll see how he goes. Oh, he got over that by willpower alone. Horse took off early. He got off the horse's back. But if he does that on jump number 10, he's going to take down 2 or 3 rails. And that's a bad position going into 9. See if Ilya can clean it up here. 10A, 10B comes down. Just 1 rail, though. That's not too bad today. Little tough turn into 11. And he kissed jump number 12. 1 rail. All 3 Russians. 1 rail between the 3 of them. Ilya Frolov is going to be ecstatic with that ride. Even though he's the worst of the 3 Russians in riding, any athlete today will take an 1180. That'll probably be 3rd place in riding. A good combine. We could easily see Ilya win a medal today. $3,408 is what they're saying he scores.
He stays in the lead. 3 more athletes to come now.
Well, and this will be a very unforgiving combine now.
And this will be interesting.
There'll be any mistake in the combined, Adrian, and an athlete's going to give up spots. We saw that in the semifinals. My first round of the semifinal, I shot 9 seconds. You know how many places I gained? 0. I was shooting next to Sam Saxon, who shot 8.7 seconds. In fact, I lost a little time next to him.
Yeah, Sam broke a world record in that heat.
That's right, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some fast shooting today. So you see how tight things are with this riding. Now on course, Zhu from China is going in third. Already pulled the rail. And a little sloppy. That horse wasn't quite sure he wanted to take off there. Just knocked jump number 3. He's down 2 rails already, with a lot of riding to go. Just nicked that 5th jump. Didn't come down. Bad timing, though, going into the combination, but loafs over the 2nd jump, which is where you usually see a problem. It's a powerful horse. You can almost feel the ground pounding every time he comes near us over here at the broadcast booth. Oh, he rocked jump number 8, and somehow that rail slid back into the cup. Now 10, A clean, B clean. Somehow we got B clean. That horse scrambled over jump B. Very bad timing into 11. Somehow he's making it through clean. He only pulled 2 rails. I would have thought he pulled about 5 or 6 rails. That was a little disorganized there, but
I think it's fair to say that for Guojian Li, riding is his worst event, so he'll be thrilled to only have docked 40 points there.
I think anyone would be thrilled. Unless you're from Russia, you're thrilled with 40 points off today.
And he's only 3 seconds behind Frolov.
That'll be difficult. As I said, it'll be 3 seconds. You can make that up in one shot. Combine's going to be very unforgiving today. Although all in all, Frolov's a fast runner. This course will favor him. There's a nice big hill in it. Frolov's going to love that. Of course, so will Adam Morosi and Alexander Leslin. Nick Woodbridge finishing 2nd in the swim today, having a fairly solid day. Of course, there's a lot of pressure on him as he gets started in the ride. He'd like to get out of here with an 1160, 1180. Sneaking over jump number 2 to get there. Taking his time around to jump number 3. Barely nicked it. I don't know what he could have done better on that one. That was looked like a clean approach. That rail has come down almost half the time today. Head into jump number 6, the combination. Looking fairly good and very relaxed out there. Looking very confident on the horse. He's kind of making it look a little pretty, look kind of easy. He doesn't really care about that, though. He cares that all the jumps are standing up still, except for one. Sort of snuck over jump number 8. Bad timing into 9, but somehow got over it. I think he helped the horse out. Let's see how he does on 10. A clean, B clean with a yell, C clean with a yell. He used everything there. He's picking up the horse and moving. And Nick Woodbridge with a fantastic round, 1180. Wow, he should be happy with that. I don't know what happened on jump number 3. Just barely touched it, and jump number 3 came down. But Nick gave that 100%, including his voice, as he went in through the rest of the course. Adrian, he practically carried the horse over about 5 of those jumps, didn't he?
There was a lot of willpower in that. And there's a lot of hunger in the belly there, isn't there, with
That's
Nick
right.
Woodbridge?
Although there needs to be.
It's Olympic year.
It is an Olympic year. They've got Jamie Cook from Great Britain has qualified. They're working on qualifying their 2nd athlete, and Nick Woodbridge making a case for himself today, isn't he?
Absolutely. No, and that really is fascinating. We've not seen Nick get on the podium except for the World Cup final. He took the bronze medal there. He did show that he was a very solid combined event athlete with the run and shoot. Now, that's going to be really interesting to see Nick up there with them. And there's some real top athletes there. Nick said in an interview, for the first time this winter, he's been able to train properly. His university is finished, he's got his course sorted out, and now he's actually concentrating fully on
and that's
training.
so important. It's so much at this level about not making mistakes. He didn't make any mistakes in his fencing. He had a great swim. Of course, he always has a great swim, and no mistakes in riding. And in fact, he did very, very well. I think he should be extremely proud of that ride. One rail down. Love seeing an athlete with that much dedication to doing what they're doing. He had a beautiful seat on the horse there, using his voice even on jump number 10. A lot of athletes fall asleep by that triple combination in 10. Man, Nick just was not going to give up on that. I love that determination. Let's see how that determination carries over as we head into the combined event later today. Of course, Mikhail Prokopenko. You know, that Prokopenko name's starting to sound a little familiar here, isn't it? I think we put up a bronze medal finish yesterday with his wife. I think he'd like to follow that up today with a gold medal finish. Of course, a fantastic runner. He's been a top athlete for years from Belarus. I don't know if he's put up a medal. Has he ever medaled in the era of the combined?
No, he hasn't. But he's been in top 10 a few times, so he certainly has the ability.
Of course,
today, in
had
the
a
fencing,
fantastic
he was
fence.
incredible.
Yeah, and he had a great fence in the semifinal. Fenced over 1,100 points. You never see that at this level of competition. It takes a phenomenal fencer to do that. Riding well so far. No rails going through the combination on 7. Not looking too pretty, but again, he's not going to care about how he looks. He's not judged on equitation. He's judged on effectiveness, and so far, pretty effective as he slips over jump number 7 and into the S-curve going into 8. Just a little uncoordinated on that 8th jump. And same with 9, but somehow finds a way to get over it. This could be difficult, though. He's having trouble connecting with that horse. 10 A clean, B comes down, C comes down. That's 15 seconds he's lost. On 3 jumps, 15 seconds on 3 jumps right there. 20 seconds total, 11:20. He was doing so well until jump number 10. He'd been happy with just 1 rail. He gave up 15 seconds of combined time in about a 10-second period on the course there, Adrian. That's how it goes, though, isn't it? You think you're doing well, all of a sudden it comes down. What a tight competition, though, and what are we going to see going into the combined?
It's so exciting, isn't it? I'm just looking at the leaderboard as Prokopenko exits the arena, and you can see Woodbridge leads. Frolov 6 seconds behind. Prokopenko 15 seconds behind. In fact, this board is not correct at the moment. I think there's just going to be an adjustment. There we go. Guo 9 seconds behind. Then Prokopenko 15. Timochenko 21. So he's going to be a big threat because he runs like the wind. And then we have El Jaziri 23, Morosi 23, and Lesson 25.
And I tell you can make a case for just about any of those athletes. I don't know if Amro El Jaziri is thinking about a medal today. I think he'd be happy with top 10 just to get a notch on his belt there. But those other athletes, I think every single one of them might expect to win a medal today.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We'll just block out our PA. I think we're having trouble being heard over him. He's got a very big microphone. I'm just going to check to see if we can link into the official results, because of course all the stuff on this screen at the moment is all unofficial. We're not linked in with the official database, which is all beautifully web-based. It's all very sexy these days. But if we give us, let's see.
Great wide shot you got of the camera there.
Here we go. I
in the
think,
background.
yes, and here are the official scores. Well done, our results people. Nick Woodbridge will go in with a lead, so our unofficial scores were correct, which is good news to me. Nick Woodbridge goes in, so he was 9th in the fence, 2nd in the swim, 3rd in the riding. That's superb consistency.
It is. And then Frolov the same, 3rd in the fence, 17th in swim, but really very, very close in swimming, and really 3rd place in riding. It says 6th, but there were only, of course, 2 people who had clean rides, and those would be his teammates. Prokopenko costing himself dearly on that ride. Tomoshenko looking very, very good. I think Amro will be happy if he stays anywhere near where he is right now. He's struggled in that. He'd like to get a good finish up there. But we'll also see Adam Morosi coming flying in from the back there, wanting to make his impact on the International Pentathlon field, won't we?
Absolutely. Well, that whole field The first 9 athletes, only 27 points between them. So
Seconds,
you know that's
27
nothing.
seconds.
You know that's absolutely nothing.
That's right. That's a couple shots, and all of a sudden you're out. And on the other hand, you look at an athlete out there. Look at some of the what ifs. If Amro shoots well, what if Amro comes out and shoots? He told me if he shoots cleanly, he thinks he shoots at about 13 seconds. If he does that, or you see Prokopenko come out and shoot cleanly the first round, it's going to really change things up and make for an exciting event.
I'd really like to see what Prokopenko does on the shoot, because I wonder if he trains with his wife.
Yeah, I think they probably run together. They're both fantastic runners, aren't they?
Yeah, well, she broke. This is an interesting fact. I'm sure it's all been put up on pentathlon.org. She broke the world record with 30.4 seconds for 3 shoots. Now, she actually missed a shot in there. She didn't shoot perfectly.
That's pretty amazing.
It's incredible.
That's I know from training, that's about a 2.5 second interval in between when shot to shot, that you can do about 2.5, 2.4 seconds in order to make that kind of timing. That's quick. And I think we're going to continue to see that as we head toward the Olympics. All the athletes are getting better. It's a new format for everyone, especially with the laser. It's just the second year we've competed with these lasers. And athletes who start doing well early, Anastasia yesterday, any of the men who shoot below 33, 34 seconds today, they're going to have a big advantage.
Absolutely. Well, there's the top 9. We do go to the next page. So, before we do, I like putting people's necks on. I'm going to put you in the spot. Frolov 6 seconds behind. Timoshenko 21, Morosi 23, less than 25 are the big names, but of course not ignoring anybody else on that list. And of course Woodbridge is leading the whole thing. Give me your 1, 2, 3.
Well, it's hard to say. I think if Frolov shoots well, this is his competition right now to lose. Timoshenko, of course, has a great combined event. I think right now we're probably looking at a battle between Frolov, Timoshenko, and Morosi and Lesson. However, Nick Woodbridge is a fighter. I've known this guy for years, and he's starting in the lead. If he can start out, watch for him to have maybe a good shoot. If he can get out in 5 shots, maybe 10 or 11 seconds, he could put himself in the mix here. Because I'll tell you what happens, Adrian. On the combined, the pressure starts building. On that second run, now you're breathing hard. And if Frolov is in the lead comfortably, he's going to shoot a lot faster.
Yeah.
But if he's got a Nick Woodbridge ahead of him, if he's got a Pavlo Timoshenko staring him down, you could start seeing an athlete like Ilya Frolov or an Adam Morosi potentially choke up a little bit. So I think a lot of this is going to have to do with Nick Woodbridge. If he shoots well, of course, he has a chance of making that top 3, and it'll put a lot of pressure on the other guys. But barring a fantastic shoot from Nick, I think we're going to probably see a medal podium of 3 of the 4 of Frolov, Timoshenko, and Lesson and Morosi, potentially Prokopenko. You know what, either way, though, it's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to watch.
It certainly is. Well, let's have a quick look at page 2 on here. And, usually we get around sort of 10, 11, 12 within a minute. Now here we've got 18 within 52 seconds.
And look at some of those names down there. Thomas Daniel, normally if he were only that far back, I'd say he has a great chance. But if you look who's ahead of him, he'll slip into the top 10 fairly comfortably, I think. Great day for him. He struggled to make the final the other day. Great day for him, and we'll see how he shoots.
Absolutely. On to page 3. And, we get to...
And Justinas Kunderas back there, he'll want to make a move, too. It'll be hard given who's ahead of him.
He's pretty rapid, isn't he?
Yep, and Karyakin in 23rd place. Hard to see him moving up maybe beyond 15th, but you never know.
I think Prokopenko rewrote the rule book because I'd like to have a look at actually how far behind she was. Because in my mind, I've always got this feeling that if you're a minute behind, you're really not going to make up that time, especially with the new combined.
I think the men are potentially less forgiving than the women, though. The top group of men shooting so fast. You're not seeing that a 40, 43-second shoot does you any men shooting so fast. You're not seeing that a 40, 43-second shoot does you any good on the men's side. On the women's side, it's still faster. So it'll be runners today to do well.
Absolutely. Just
for any male athlete to make up ground on shooting. So we're going to look at the runners today to do well.
Absolutely.
One was solid for him. Decent ride, but man, that fence got him started on the wrong start here. he'll be disappointed with that. He's got some good runners up ahead of him. I think if he finishes 22nd, maybe 23rd, he'll probably be happy with that, where things are. And then, of course, he'll head down to Rio next week looking to add on to this.
Yeah. And a quick word, also, James Cook, the World Junior Champion. I think a lot of people are really thinking big things to this guy. He's incredible on the swim. As we know, he broke the world record yet again this week in qualification. He was half a second behind, but I still think it was the second fastest time ever in pentathlon, and he was disappointed with his swim. Can you believe that?
Well, he went out like wildfire. You watched that first 350s, and he had something to prove. He got killed in fencing. He's a younger athlete, still not as experienced as Sam Wheeler, Nick Woodbridge from Great Britain, who have several more years of fencing at the senior level than Jamie does.
Yeah.
And, he had something to prove in that swim. He was going out. He didn't want to break the world record. He wanted to smash the world record. I think he misjudged just a little bit how much gas he'd have left and struggled. I talked to him afterwards. He said, man, that last 20 meters killed me. But
he was slowing down because he actually changed. I was doing the commentary, and he was 1:24 with 50 to go,
and it looked for sure that he was going to make it.
Absolutely, I was calling it. I was getting all very excited as usual, and I was thinking, well, he's bound to do the last quarter in less than 30 seconds to break the world record.
That's right. Well, it looked like the proverbial piano jumped on his back with 20 meters left. I mean, at 20 meters to go, it looked like he wasn't going to break the record. He was going to destroy it. And then all of a sudden, you were wondering if he was going to finish the race.
Yeah.
And he told me that afterwards. I said, James, that looks like it was painful. He said, yeah, that was really painful. But as in pentathlon, sometimes you got to hang your hat on that and say, I didn't have a great fence. I'm going to go out and try to do something special today. That would have been special for him. Great swimmer. You know what? He's got years of this left to go. He's a young athlete. He's a very bright future.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to just get ready now for the combined event, which, of course, for those of you who follow pentathlon, is not immediately afterwards. It's a little bit like the medal ceremony. Usually is about an hour and a half after the end of the event. So we have a little while to wait. And what we're going to do is show you some swimming highlights from earlier in the day. Normally we do bring you fencing highlights, but unfortunately we had a bit of a power cut, and we weren't able to bring you that, weren't able to edit anything together in time for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to play you some the swimming highlights, and you can watch James Cook, and you can listen to me get too excited as he nearly breaks the world record. We'll be back in about 29 minutes' time and 18 seconds, if you want to know exactly. And hopefully by then we'll be very, very close indeed to the start of the combined event. So we'll enjoy this, and we'll be back very, very soon. Nice, yeah. You see, that could become a little become famous. Hey, he's the guy who says to your state, right, let's get ready to rumble, Here we go for heat number one. Here we go for heat number 1 out of 5 at the Modern Pentathlon World Cup Series 2012 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. In lane 3, Maureen Hollis of France. In 4, Michal Prokopenko of Belarus. In 5, it's Alexander Nobis of Germany. And in 6, Nicola Benedetti of Italy. These are the slowest swimmers in the competition in terms of seeding. Of course, they could pull something out of a hat here today and do something incredible. We're just looking for the first split, and it's Prokopenko who turns first. He's on the form of his life. He couldn't do anything wrong in the fencing today. He was incredible, and he won the fencing. So he will need to try and put in the best time possible. It's not actually a race between the athletes. It's all about the time that you can record to get the maximum possible number of pentathlon points towards your total. They're coming in for the halfway stage. It's a 200-meter freestyle race. And turning first is Prokopenko again from Belarus, with Nobis in second and Holist in third. Benedetti bringing up the rear. Two of the biggest guys in pentathlon here as well in lanes 4 and 5, Benedetti and Nobis. And Prokopenko, his wife broke the world record yesterday in the combined event. She shot an individual shot in just over 8 seconds, and she also broke the men's and women's world record for 3 shots, which, if memory serves me right, was 30.4 seconds for the 3 shots. And Michał Prokopenko turns first, Nobis second. Benedetti overtakes Holist to go into third spot, although I think the timing didn't work on that, so maybe that's not correct. But it's Prokopenko here who's going to bring us home. There's a bit of a battle for first place between him and Nobis. Who's going to get the touch here between them? There's not much in it between them. Looks as if Prokopenko, who's led from the start, is starting to tie up a little bit. And here comes the German. Can he get the touch at the end? Who's going to get the touch? It's Prokopenko who just gets it. Just 18 hundredths of a second ahead of Nobis. And Hollis was in third place. Benedetti brings up the rear. That's heat number 1.
Competitors for Heat 2. In lane 1, representing the Ukraine, Pavlo Kupolenski. In lane 2, from Austria, Thomas Daniel. In lane 3, from Kazakhstan, Andrei Volotov. In lane 4, from Italy, Riccardo De Luca. In lane 5,
United States on that one. If you're not sure, just give me a nudge. I'll say it straight to you. So just a little hesitation.
This is heat number 2 out of 5 here at the World Cup number 1 stop in Charlotte, North Carolina, United States. In lane 1 at the top of the screen, Pavlo Kopolyansky from Ukraine. In 2, Thomas Daniel from Austria. In 3, Andrei Soldatov from Kazakhstan. 4, Riccardo De Luca of Italy. 5, Sam Saxon from United States. 6, Simon Staskovic of Poland. 7, Denis Tchaikovskis of Latvia. And in 8, Alexander Mordasov of the Ukraine. Well, it's Kopolyansky who's turned first there, with De Luca second. In fact, equals second with Sam Saxon from the United States. And Pavlo Kopolyansky, just like we saw Prokopenko, he's having a great run. He was second in the fencing, so he's really showing some great form. But these are still some of the slower swimmers in the competition, so Kopolyansky will just want to get the best time possible. But Andrei Soldatov has made a move here in lane 3. The second 50 for him, and he's already a length up on Kopolyansky. And then the rest are all pretty much in a line. Just looking through the rest of this field, we've got Simon Staskovic, who finished 8th in the fencing event, and those are the only athletes who were top 10. Thomas Daniel in lane 2 finished in 13th position. So looking for the turn at the top end. There's just 50 to go after this. This is the 150 turn, and Soldatov certainly well away from the rest. We don't have a time from Soldatov by the looks of it, but Soldatov turns from Kopolyansky, and he didn't start so well, but he's certainly swum really well in the remainder of the heat, and he's moving away. He's 2 lengths up from the rest of the field. Soldatov, who finished 32nd in the fencing, has a lot to do. He knows he has to get the best time possible. He's pushing it as hard as possible now. They put the burners on, and we've got a race in for second place. Sam Saxon is having a bit of a tussle there in second. Soldatov takes it. Saxon gets a touch over Staskovic of Poland. Great race for second place. And that is heat number 2 completed.
Like essays less short or less? In lane 1, representing Russia, Alexander Lesson. In lane 2, representing France, Christopher Pate. In lane 3, representing Italy, Federico Gianfranco.
Take your stations. That's good. Well done.
Off they go for heat number 4 out of 5 here at the World Cup number 1 stop in Charlotte, North Carolina. In lane 1 at the top of the screen, Blagoy Dimitrov of Bulgaria. In 2, it's David Svoboda of the Czech Republic. In 3, Jean-Max Beru of France. In 4, Guo Jianli of China. 5, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe from Ireland. In 6, Pier Paolo Petroni of Italy. 7, Mikolai Hayanuski of Belarus. And in 8, Sergei Karyakin of Russia. And it's Guo from China who turns first, with Lanigan O'Keefe from Ireland second and Petroni in third place. Do keep an eye out for David Svoboda in lane 2, World Cup number 4 winner from 2011, and coming back to some form. He's working very hard for an Olympic qualification spot. And Guo from he's working very hard. China actually finished 6th in the fencing. So this is a significant move from Guo here as we get towards the penultimate heat. These swimmers are getting faster and faster, and Guo Jianli is going to turn first again. Guo turns with a good lead over Jean-Max Beru of France and Petroni from Italy in third. Sergei Karyakin in lane 8, closest to the audience, was the world champion in 2010 in Chengdu, China. So another one of the top stars of the sport down in lane 8 there. But it's Guo Jianli from China who's making a big move here, having had a tremendous performance in the fencing earlier, finishing 6th there. He's going to be certainly looking to finish top 10 in the swimming. There's still one more heat to go, of course, and the next heat should contain faster swimmers. But Guo has turned with a big lead over the rest of the field. And with this sort of swim, he may well exceed some of the times from the guys in the next heat as well. Guo Jianli from China has a good 1-length lead over the rest of the field. They're coming to the final 20 metres, and they'll all put the burners on now to really push that extra little bit of second out of the water. Guo Jianli is going to win this comfortably, but who's going to get the touch for second? Looks as if Jean-Max Beru will take second place, and Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe from Ireland will get third. And a good time there from Guo as well, so he'll be very pleased with that. That's heat number 4 completed.
Gentlemen, please clear the pool. E5.
This is the fifth and final heat here at the World Cup #1 stop in North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina. These are all the fastest swimmers in the competition. In lane 1, Adam Hiroshi of Hungary. 2, Cao Zonglong of China. 3, Amir Al-Jaziri of Egypt. 4, James Cook of Great Britain. 5, Nick Woodbridge of Great Britain. 6, Jung Jin-hwa of Korea. 7, Hwang Woo-jin of Korea. And 8, Hong Jin-woo. And it's James Cook who turns first. He's in the form of his life here. Woodbridge second and Cao of China in third. James Cook broke the world record for modern pentathlon in this pool 2 days ago with a time of 1:54.25. Keep an eye on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. He could well break it again today. It's Cook and Woodbridge who are pushing each other pretty hard to start with. The 2 British athletes ahead of Al-Ghaziri. Cook turns first, Woodbridge second. Cook turning in 54.98. He could be in with a chance of this world record yet again. Watch out for James Cook in lane 4. He didn't do so well in the fencing today. He finished in last place. He really needs the best time possible. Woodbridge in lane 5 was 10th in the fencing, and that's a great performance from him in his weakest event. So watch out for these 2 Brits later on down the line. But Cook's going to turn with 50 metres to go. And we're all looking at the time here from James Cook, 1:24.26. He now needs to get this last 50 in 30 seconds to break the world record. James Cook is a good length and a half up over Nick Woodbridge, and the rest are just left behind. There's only one man in this race. He's in a class of his own, James Cook. He's got 20 metres to go. He's starting to time up. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, give him encouragement. The world record is on here for James Cook. Can he make it? We're all looking at the clock now. Will he do it? 1:54.90, just a fraction out. James Cook wins the race comfortably with Nick Woodbridge in second place and Amir Al-Jaziri in third. What a great race there from James Cook. And that's the end of the swimming event, so all the athletes will now move on to the ride. So a big scream there from Adam Hiroshi. He's really disappointed in lane 1, put in a slow time, and he didn't do well in the fencing. So that's his annoyance that today is not going to be his day. He was really hoping to get on the medal podium. But James Cook, just half a second outside his world record, 1:54.9. Still posting very fast times here, but just tied up a little bit in that last 20 metres that you saw. And he'd put a little bit too much in too early. He really gave it everything. And unfortunately, his fencing performance means that he's unlikely to qualify to get through for a medal here, finishing 36 in the fencing. So the World Junior Champion, a great performance, and we move on to the riding.
For how long? 15 minutes?
Nick Woodbridge is with us here after the swimming. You came second in the swimming, great performance. But first of all, tell us about the fencing. You were superb there today.
Yeah, fencing was good today. It was solid. I think there were a few hits where I just didn't finish it off. I thought I was in control of the fight, but I just didn't end up finishing it for whatever reason. I think probably 4 to 6 got away from me, so we're talking mid-900s to 1,000, which was my target when I came here. So that's a little bit frustrating, but the score's still solid and I'm still up there. So with that swim, I should be in the top 5.
Well, I think anybody here who finishes 10th in their weakest event is going to be thrilled, and you must be thrilled inside. You've just come second in the swimming. You're going to be very high up when it comes to the riding event, and you're good on the ride as well.
Yeah, but I've been working hard through this winter. I mean, I've had no university this winter for the first time in about 4 years, so I think that's starting to pay off, and this is where I expect to be in competitions, and high up before the combined, and then I try and hold on in the combined.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself now? You know, we've got
obviously it's Olympic year. Jamie's already qualified, of course. A lot of people are saying, top 20 in the world, if you can finish in the top 20, you're probably going to qualify. Is that what your thoughts are at the moment?
Not really, to be honest, because in my situation, it's not really about everyone else now. How the way our policy works is I've got to finish above the other GB guys, so that's what I'm aiming for. And to do that's going to be tough. I think Sam's very strong, and I'm looking for top 5 finishes, to be honest, in World Cups to do that.
Well, you've started brilliantly here today. Well done. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
So we have Hollis and Cook. So Hollis on the right from France, Cook on the left. Hollis is really going to be bearing down. He doesn't want to have two defeats in this round. So you're going to see. Yep, there you go. He needed that hit. He needed that victory just to save himself. Save a little dignity there. I really think he was sleeping against Woodbridge. Woodbridge having a great day. One of the better physical athletes, run, swim combined in the swimming event. If he can hang on to the fence, he's a real threat for a medal. U.S. had an athlete very similar to this, Chad Senior in 2000, who found himself in position for the gold medal in the Sydney Games. True run swimmer, and he happened to have sky opens up, sun shines, and you have your day. So we have Woodbridge and Paté. Woodbridge on the left from Great Britain, Paté from France on the right. Paté needs this victory as well. Pressing, pushing. Woodbridge in the 2 meter, at the 2 meter line. He's going to need to come out. And that's what Paté wants. He's trying to set up a counterattack. Double touch. It's exactly what Paté is looking for, though. Paté's putting the pressure on, and that's the tricky part, putting just enough pressure to create the attack from Woodbridge, but not too much that he's too close. And if Paté gets just close enough, he'll attack. So he has option A and option B. He's just picking the pressure. Paté just keeps the treasure. There's only 10 seconds left in the match, which is gonna force the action. At 10 seconds, it forces the action. Paté's keeping the pressure. Another double. Another double touch. Paté is a classic example of French fencing. French fencers train in INSEP, which is the National Training Center in just outside Paris. It's a fencing factory. Well, you wonder sometimes. That's a real. Sometimes when a guy needs a little bit of time, he asks for an Allen wrench for his grip to tighten down the grip. And what he's really looking for is a break in the action to think about what he needs to do. I'm not sure what that was. Now there's just a few seconds left. Paté's going to put the pressure on. And let's watch that replay. Woodbridge. Paté just got too close. Just closed the distance too close, and then he missed. He wanted the attack, and there you go. Paté was just a step behind, just a beat behind. Woodbridge did exactly what Paté wanted, and Paté just missed the hit. So here we are back, Charlotte. We have Hollis on the left from France, Benedetti from Italy on the right. Benedetti, big, tall, has the reach, absolutely has the reach. Waiting for that stop hit. Look at Benedetti's got that forward stance. He's capable from that position. He can do two things. He can stop it, or he can make a simple straight attack. Frenchman's holding his blade down, which is also a very classical French school there. Hey, Frenchman Hollis got the touch. He simply he just outfenced Benedetti. I mean, there's nothing more that can be said. He just has a better skill level. It was all timing. Carried the blade down, just a beat 8 repost continuation. That's all it was. But he was very comfortable. If you watch his body language, he was just very comfortable up against Benedetti. I'm sure they fenced many times. Now we have Christopher Patet from France on the left with Paolo Petroni from Italy on the right. What I find interesting about when you have a Frenchman and an Italian fencing is the schools of fencing in those countries are very, very similar. It's not like the Germans against the Italians or the French, but the French and Italian fencing schools are very, very similar. Patet missed. Petroni counterattacked. Now watch, Patet's going to throw the blade out. Let's go for the hand. Counterattack by Petroni, victory. That's a situation where Patet just took Petroni for granted. I don't think he thought he was going to attack off of that. Threw his blade out. He wasn't on his game, not on his toes. Fencing takes a lot of focus, especially in one touch with 1 minute. These athletes really, really need to bear down. The tricky part of that is there's 35 bouts, so they have to do this 35 times in a row at a fairly short period of time. This fencing will be done over 2 hours, and it just requires intense concentration. And sometimes there's a lack. There's a lapse in focus or concentration, and if you can detect that in your opponent, you can take advantage of it. And that's just what happened in the last bout. Now Petroni coming back up on the right, and on the left, Hollis from France. Petroni needs to win this. So you're going to see a whole different level of focus by Petroni. Again, Hollis very comfortable on the piss, very comfortable on the strip. Got the bouncing motion, just like boxers, bouncing around the ring. It's the reason fencers bounce is you can move faster when you're moving. It's easier to get your body moving forward or backwards from when you have that spring in your legs. You can move a lot faster as opposed to being flat-footed. So that's why the fencers are out here bouncing. Here we go. Petroni needed that. He needed it. He waited for Hollis to throw out the pick, and he just counterattacked. That was a classic example of Petroni being more focused than Hollis because he needed that victory very much. There you go. Done. You see the green light there in the background, and Petroni obviously happy. You know, the one-touch game, that's another classic example of very simple actions. Very simple actions. Benedetti makes the attack. That's a stop hit from Pate, a simple stop hit with opposition. He's opposing the other guy's blade. He pushes it out of the way as he's moving forward, and the victory for Pate from France. So it looks like the French and the Italians split on the victory, you know, on their team match here, on the victories and defeats. Looks like it was 2-2. And it's interesting how emotionally, how these athletes go back and forth. You drop one, the next bout is twice as important mentally. You can't get yourself buried into a hole. It's a numbers game too. I mean, at the end of the day, these athletes are trying to get, the magic number is 1,000 points. And that requires 70% victory. So out of every 10 matches, you need to win 7. So you can afford 3 defeats. And really, that's what the better fencers, they don't count how many victories they have. They count how many defeats they have. Beautiful day in Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful day in Charlotte, North Carolina. The final day of the World Cup in the United States. These athletes have, it's been a long 4 days. And I can tell you on behalf of the organizers, it's been a long week. Everybody's happy to have the event here, and everybody's also happy to have the event over with. Yeah. You notice the backdrop here against the stage. That banner is a repeating London skyline, and it interchanges with the Charlotte skyline. So you take a look there across the base across the left side of your screen. You'll have Charlotte, London, repeating itself across the stage. It's the marriage between the two cities here, because Charlotte's the first stop on the road to London for these athletes. And tomorrow the whole circus moves to Rio. I think the athletes are delighted to know that those are the tools that the referees use. You have 3 cards, just like in soccer. You have a yellow card, which is a warning, a red card, which is a penalty, where an athlete's penalized 10 points, and a black card is exclusion, which means you're thrown out of the competition. You see the yellow card used often, just like you see it in football matches or soccer in the States, and you see the red card occasionally. You very rarely see the black card used. That would be for something very, very severe. The weight, you have what's called the weight, that silver tube there. That's 750 grams. You'll see the indentation. What the referees are doing is placing that weight on top of the tip of the épée, and the épée has to have enough strength to push that weight back up, thereby ensuring that there's a maximum amount of pressure required to make the light go off. And the other little piece of metal there was what we call a shim, and it measures the distance between the tip of the blade and when the light goes off. Now here we are back in the action. We got Petroni from Italy on the left, Daniels from Austria on the right, Thomas Daniel. This ought to be a great match. Daniels very, very fast, very, very effective. Petroni long and lean. So you got Daniels. He can do it all, and there you go. He can parry riposte. He can also flesh. Petroni has the height advantage. Daniel's a more skilled fencer. So we have Prokopenko from Belarus on the left, Andrei Soldatov. Just having a great day. You can't, he's just fleshing. Just simple straight attacks. All counter time. Just fleshing. Just simple straight attacks. All counter time straight attacks. And there he goes. Caught the guy sleeping again. It's amazing. Prokopenko is simply putting his blade up and moving forward. And everybody's letting him do it. It's almost like people don't believe that he's actually going to come. Four more rounds to go here in Charlotte in the fencing hall at the Memorial Stadium Complex, downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte, one of the financial capitals of the United States, second behind New York. Here's Daniel from Austria on the left, and Hong from Korea on the right. And here once again, now the Koreans are very, very well schooled. Their fencing program's gotten a lot better over the last 5-6 years. Very strong work ethic, very good blade work. Daniel has great blade work too. These guys are very evenly paired in terms of skill. The winner here is going to be the guy who's more focused. Yeah. Hong definitely has a flesh in him. We know Daniel does. Watch how Daniel lowers his hand to his leg. He's inviting Hong to move closer to close the distance. What Daniel has to be careful of that. Counter attack. It worked. It worked. Moving his hand down, he invited Hong to move forward, closing the distance. When the distance gets close, gives him a better chance. Simple parry, and there's the touch.
One, two. So here we are. We're getting ready to start.
You know, fencing's called physical chess by a lot of folks, and the reason is that in addition to the physical skills that are required for the sport, in terms of speed, strength, there's also a good deal of strategy involved, and a lot of it is trying to get your opponent to put them into a position where you can monopolize, you know, on their mistakes or on the.
Apologies for still having the fencing on there. We didn't want that to happen. So we are getting ready. It's a very difficult position we're in because we've got the sun directly into our eyes. So it's going to be very tough. We believe we've got graphics for you as well. We think everything's working on the technology side of things. So we're looking forward to all that. First event of the season, so always a few little issues here and there. So here we go. We've got about 5 minutes to go. There's page one.
Coaches, please make your way to the viewing stand.
Page one of the leaderboard is there. And should be a very interesting race. Nick Woodbridge has got 6-second lead over Ilya Frolov, with Guo from China just behind, Prokopenko of Belarus, and Timochenko, the reigning champion from USA World Cup, won here a year ago, is only in 5th position. We know he's a fast runner. We're going to see a really interesting race here today. The last few shots are taking place.
All coaches, please clear the infield and go make your way to the viewing stand. Thank you.
So we're getting ready here. There's about a minute to go before the end of warm-up, and well, we saw the leaderboard a few minutes ago on the big screen. Our first combined event. We certainly had a pretty exciting combined event yesterday. Well, today promises to be even better. We have 23 athletes within 1 minute of the leader, so a very compact leaderboard. We have several cameras all linked around the place. We've got we've got 4 of them linked to the big screen, so you can see what's going on behind. You can see our camera there, so you can see what's going on behind the scenes.
3 minutes to the start of the run.
And for those of you watching live on pentathlon.org, this race is being watched by thousands around the world who are tuning in to see this race. Modern Pentathlon fans, in Olympic year, this is the race to London. And there are a lot of athletes here looking to pick up ranking points that will give them that ticket to ride into London for the 2012 Olympic Games. There's certainly a lot of excitement here over this final. There's Nick Woodbridge. There's Nick Woodbridge, who will lead the way. 2 minutes to go. Alexander Mordasov. Hello, Alexander. You can do it. So for those of you new to pentathlon, the bigger the number on their shirt is, the further down they start. And it's a handicap race. Whoever comes over the finish line the first is the winner. So the handicap reflects the 3 events that we've had so far. And now we're getting ready for the combined event. 3 1-kilometer laps with a chute at the beginning of each lap.
1 minute to go, gentlemen. Everybody should be in line now.
And there's the leaderboard. Those are the top 9 on the screen right now. And page 2 on the screen. Some very fast athletes just further down the field. So watch out for some of these athletes further down as we get ready to start the race.
30 seconds to go. 20 seconds to go. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nick Woodbridge heads into the arena. A 6-second lead over Ilya Frolov. For chute number 1. Woodbridge and Frolov, 2 shots each. Frolov has got 4. Groh and Prokopenko shooting. And there goes Frolov away. Frolov shoots really well and he's into the field already. And he's got himself a decent lead. Woodbridge, Groh and Prokopenko. Groh's away from China. And Nick Woodbridge is right behind him. Groh and Woodbridge in 2nd and 3rd place. And a good shoot there from Prokopenko as well. And Alexander Lesson with 8 on his shirt, has already made up 3 places with an incredible shoot. Lesson shoots superbly. Morosi is away with Timochenko right behind him. They were gold and silver medalists in the World Cup #1 stop in Palm Springs last year. El Jaziri is away, Petroni and Jung. Great shoot there from Frolov. Huang from Korea, Zuraliu from Belarus heads into the field. Not such a good shoot from Zuraliu. And Thomas Daniel, who's a very fast runner, is away as well. Nobis shoots very well. And Kinderis, also a very fast runner, heads into the field. So a really good shoot. World champion from last 2010, Sergei Karyakin. As we look at the back camera, and we can see there's Frolov coming up. He's got a good lead as they go up that hill and around the back of the arena. And Frolov, who's the 2008 world champion, a very experienced athlete indeed. Woodbridge is starting to go away from Guo. So Woodbridge is away in second place on his own, and Guo from China just behind. And then we have a few athletes, but watch out, look out there for Alexander Lesson, Pavlo Timochenko, and Adam Morosi. All 3 of them on the line, some real stars of the sport all together. And there's certainly going to be a little bit more movement there. So the significant move in that first shoot was Ilya Frolov just missing 1 shot out of his 5. And so he took 6 attempts to get the 5 shots, and he headed away first. Nick Woodbridge, I think he missed 2 or 3 and went away in third. Nicola Benedetti gets away there. Still a few athletes to start, of course. These are the ones who are 2.5 minutes behind. But the main leaders now heading back into the arena. Here comes Ilya Frolov, the 2008 world champion from Russia. Just behind him, Nick Woodbridge, the bronze medalist from the World Cup final last year, the Olympic test event at Greenwich Park. And behind him, it looks like Guo of China starting to already look as if he's struggling a little bit here. And the athletes behind are putting a bit of pressure on him. Ilya Frolov comes round the corner. Nick Woodbridge just behind, and then we have 4 athletes in a row here. Here comes Frolov in for shoot number 2. Frolov hits his first and second, and his third. 4 out of 4 for Frolov. 5 out of 5. Superb shooting from the Russian. Incredible. And he's away, and he's extended his lead here. Lesson shooting well. Alexander Lesson, it's a Russian shooting masterclass at the moment. 5 out of 5 for Lesson, and Guo gets away in third. Timochenko in 4th, but at the moment it's a Russian 1-2. Adam Morosi in 5th place, started in 7th, has really moved up. But at the moment the Russians practicing. Nick Woodbridge gets away in 6th place. And Petroni, number 10 on his shirt, has moved up to 7th with some good shooting. El Jaziri in 8th. And Mikhail Prokopenko drops down to 9th. But great shooting there from Ilya Frolov and Alex Lesson. Zuraliu from Belarus has dropped down from 9th to about 15th at the moment. So he's had a bad shooting experience. And Ricardo De Luca has been the big mover here from 24th place up to around 17th. So he's done excellently. As we know, he's one of the top shooters and top runners in the competition. Round in the backfield, we've just missed Frolov. There's Lesson and Timochenko making a move here on Lesson. Timochenko won the World Cup event in the USA last year, and he's going to be battling for 2nd place. Guo and Morosi, that hill really does take it out of them. You can see that it's a real strain to go up that hill. Woodbridge in 6th. So the top 6 seem to be a little bit settled there. El Jaziri just behind. But there's Frolov coming back down the hill into the arena. Frolov looking, he's got a big lead. Look at that lead he's got there. He is one of the strongest runners. He should be coming around the corner any second. There he comes. Ilya Frolov, the 2008 world champion. He won World Cup events in Italy in 2009 as well. And he's looking very comfortable here, isn't he? He's a strong runner, one of the best runners in the competition. It's all going to be down to his third and final shoot now. There's a bit of a chase on behind. You can see Alexander Lesson there and Pavlo Timochenko right behind. Jamie Cook gets away after his second shoot. Frolov has a good lead, has a very strong lead. Timochenko and Lesson in second and third, and Morosi just behind. So those four athletes you feel are the big challengers for the 3 medals now. But at the moment, Ilya Frolov looking very comfortable indeed as he comes into his third and final shoot here in the Modern Pentathlon World Cup Series for 2012, the World Cup #1 stop. Ilya Frolov has about a 20-second lead going into shoot number 3. Two out of 2. 3 out of 3. 4 out of 4. Oh, he's insatiable. Ilya Frolov looks a class act here today. Another clean sheet of hits for Frolov. And Lesson does the same in position number 2. And he looks behind to see where Timochenko is. And Timochenko's right on his tail. Timochenko's right there. It's going to be a road race now for the silver medal. Who can get away in third place? It's Morosi. And Morosi has a look at the lights to see who might be challenging him. Morosi has got a big gap to build up there to try and get the bronze medal. The race is on between Timochenko and Lesson for the silver medal. There's no doubt about that. Woodbridge is away in 6th, Guo in 5th, and Daniel in 7th. No doubt about that. Woodbridge is away in 6th, Guo in 5th, and Daniel in 7th. Timochenko makes a move on Lesson on the back straight. Timochenko's making his big move already. He's signing his intent for the silver medal as a big bunch of athletes get away in mid-group. We're just waiting for them to come round the corner here. Frolov's already been up the hill. Here comes Frolov up the hill and around the corner. He's got the gold medal in his bag already. A very solid lead for Ilya Frolov. But the big question is the silver medal position, and Timochenko has moved ahead of Lesson. We can see it clearly. Lesson has a look behind. He wants to see where Morosi is, and Morosi might be just too far away here. There goes Morosi up the hill and round the back. And it looks as if our 3 medal positions are settled. The story of this race was Ilya Frolov in the first shoot, producing something special and getting away in first place, and he's not lost it. But Timochenko's making a bit of a sprint here. He's going to have a go at Frolov. Ilya Frolov looks behind. There's about 10-15 meters in it. This could be an interesting race if Timochenko can get some speed up off the top of this hill. This is going to be very interesting to see. Frolov has got the lead, but Timochenko is about 10 meters away, and Timochenko's got his head down. He's having a go here. Ilya Frolov powering away though. Ilya Frolov has put a bit more into his sprint. He's a strong runner, we know. These two are going at one hell of a pace round this corner here. You won't believe that they've been through 3 hours of fencing, a swimming event, plus the ride. And Frolov looks behind him, and I think he realises that he's got this one in the bag now. The 2008 world champion from Russia turns the corner, and Ilya Frolov will take the first World Cup for 2012. Gold for Russia. And our champion from last year, Pavlo Timochenko from the Ukraine, takes the silver medal, with Alexander Lesson of Russia will take the bronze. The world number 1 gets the bronze medal. Here comes Adam Morosi. Morosi gets 4th place, and Thomas Daniel from 14th place, he gets 5th. What an incredible race. Woodbridge 6th, Kinderis is 7th, Baru and Svoboda are having a hell of a race there. That's incredible. What a race that was. And they've moved up so many positions, Svoboda and Morosi. And Riccardo De Luca with 24 on his shirt. That's an amazing performance from the Italian. That almost certainly is the fastest combined event time there. These guys could be fighting for Olympic places further down the field. This is why these guys are sprinting hard, because every place may count towards the ranking points. So every position counts towards their world ranking, and one place here may be the difference between qualifying for the London Olympics and not. So that's why they're all working hard just to gain that extra position. There comes Sam Saxon from the United States. He gained some positions there. And we've got a bit of a race on here for one of the lower positions. Number 33 on his shirt, Prades from France, and Giancamilli from Italy, and Benedetti from Italy. And Prades from France takes that one. Well, you can see some of these athletes, the pain they've been through. It's been a hard day. Giancamilli obviously put in a lot there. Here's number 30, Mikhail Hayanuski of Belarus, coming home. Well done, Mikhail. Amro El Ghaziri there. Well done, Amro. Comforted by his brother Omar. We've still got one athlete to come in. And today's not been a good day for Jamie Cook. He broke a world record in the swimming 2 days ago, but things didn't go too well in the fencing for the world junior champion. His ride didn't come off too well either, which is why he started low down. But here's our final competitor of the day, so everybody, let's give him a big round of applause here. The world junior champion comes home, Jamie Cook of Great Britain. He's already qualified for the Olympics as he comes home. Well done, Jamie. And we're going to grab a few words with our medalists in a short while, so please bear with us.
Mark?
Okay? And we'll send that to Russian feeders.
Okay, Mark, are you ready?
We're going to do the first one in English, then Russian.
Just step over here a little bit. Just the sunlight's over there, that's all. That's it, that's good. All that. You're shooting. You've been practicing. That was amazing. Really good. But I won't say anything like that. Okay. With me, I've got Ilya Frolov, the winner here from this World Cup here in the United States. Ilya, great performance. And where did you learn to shoot like that?
I know, yeah, I know, because it's very clean in my shooting. Only 50 shootings. It's not missing, because I am not. It's my running very bad.
Yeah. No, your running is amazing though, and last year your shooting sometimes did let you down, and sometimes your shooting was bad. But this year your shooting was excellent, and you must be very happy that for the rest of the year this form is going to carry you towards maybe the Olympics.
No, Olympics, and I know I not see.
Yeah.
I'm more training only shooting because little training and running.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good performance today, and well done. Brilliant.
Okay. Thank you very much, and also and good luck, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And something in Russian?
No, Russian.
Yeah.
No.
Just say the same thing in Russian.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Just need to talk into this and to say, very happy to win gold.
Doesn't matter.
Shot very well, ran very, defense very well. Just say, talk about the goal. And then talk about the
Окей? Ну, я очень доволен сегодняшним выступлением. Вот, все начиналось с фехтования довольно-таки хорошо. Что могу сказать? Все соперники как бы обострены, очень готовы хорошо выступать, все готовятся к Олимпиаде. Никаких никто поблажек не делал, потому что очень мало стартов, таких, как скажем, основных, и все соперники готовятся к ним, и я думаю, на Олимпиаде будет очень серьезная подготовка к ней. Вот. Ну и хочу пожелать всем соперникам удачи и хорошей подготовки.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So a few words in Russian there from Ilya Frolov. Now, you're recording your local mic as well, aren't you? Right, and we're hopefully going to grab a word with a few more people. Mark, change to Rob's camera now, please. Mike's recording though, so it's not really too much about it, but we don't want to get too far away. You see Tim. Tim, do you have a good mic? I can't interview with this mic. Yeah, this mic's no good. I'll bring it back.
Are you? I'm getting ready to do the announcement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not doing the announcement.
You can do it. Yeah.
No. Okay. Rob will be good. I'll just leave that there now. I'll just put it down next time. So we just did an interview with Ilya Frolov there for our webcast, for our live webcast. And for those of you in the arena who missed it, Ilya was just talking about how he trained so hard with the combined event and the shooting. Last year, shooting was certainly a problem for Ilya Frolov, but he's been working very, very hard indeed at it. And you could see that the way he shot today. I think he only had one shot missed out of the whole 15. We're hoping to speak to our other medalists. Oh, here's Mr. Alexander Lesson. Hello.
For the interviews, I think it doesn't sound good. Well, it didn't sound good on this one. You had both. Did it work for you? first one in English.
Russia, please.
You've improved in English a lot.
Very basic.
No, it's good. Just happy to win bronze. You shot very well. Looking forward to the Olympics. Looking forward to the season.
So with me is Alexander Lesson. Well done today, Alexander. You shot very, very well. You were so fast out there.
This is different. This is very different for me, and I'm happy. Very good doing running combined, and I'm very happy. Yeah.
You're currently the world #1, so that must give you a good feeling that you're, according to the rankings, you're the best athlete here out of everybody.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Then obviously you've qualified for the Olympics, but you know there are 4 Russians in there, so it's a difficult situation because only 2 can go through. Are you guys all in a battle now as to who goes for the Olympics?
Yes, this is a big problem. Russian Federation, Russian country have 4 big pentathlete and very difficult. I don't know. I only doing.
Yeah, you can only do what you can do. I understand what you mean. Well, you know, you've got a silver medal here today, so a brilliant job and well done, Alexander.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And your first ever interview in English. Very well done for that as well.
Now Russian.
Just say something in Russian for the guys back home.
Bronze.
Just bronze. Yes.
То же самое.
Yeah, just speak
Same.
to me. Speak to me in Russian and I'll pretend.
Я очень рад, да, отлично. Я очень рад, то, что первый старт в сезоне начался так, достаточно трудно, но одновременно и успешно. То есть мы посмотрели, что где не хватает, и думаю, что к чемпионату мира мы подойдем как можно лучше и, естественно, будем готовиться к Олимпийским играм. Единственное, что проблема есть, что у нас в России есть 4 сильнейших человека, и вот это проблемно, и, конечно, мы пытаемся друг с другом быть конкурентоспособными, и что рождает высокие результаты, как вы видите, на соревнованиях в целом. Спасибо.
Thank you. Спасибо.
Cheers, mates.
Well done, Adam. Well done. Just wait for Pablo. We can do. If these guys are waiting, if these guys are ready. Are they not ready yet? Adam, can I have a quick photo of you? Just the crowd, very quickly. Or you be? Because I messed up. Sorry. It's okay, no problem. That's fine. It's okay. I'm done with my interviews, so whoever wants to come on. The mic is actually on. Oh, nice. Very good. Right, so we're going to be getting the presentations in a second, so we'll grab Pavlo Timochenko shortly, have a few words with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for all pentathletes out here today. Give it up for them. Right now we need all our athletes to make their way to the podium. We're going to be giving away the awards, and the award ceremony will start shortly. So if we can get all our athletes to make their way over here. Ladies and gentlemen, the first award to be given out today is the George S. Patton Trophy, and it is presented to the current men's national champion, Dennis Bowser. The George S. Patton Trophy is given by Colonel Guy Joy, the Modern Pentathlon 1952 Olympian, who is going to be escorted by Michelle Strauss. The award is presented by Mr. Rob Stahl, Blair Driggs, and Vaho Igorashvili, who all have their names engraved on the trophy. Let's give them all a big round of applause. And a very big round of applause for Dennis Bowser. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause. The George S. Patton Trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to let everybody know that each athlete will be presented with a National Football League Carolina Panthers helmet. So every athlete is going to get that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go from 6th to 1st with these awards. So we're going to start with 6th and work our way to our grand champion. So in 6th place, we have Nicholas Woodbridge from Great Britain. Nicholas Woodbridge, come on up. Presenting flowers, Mr. Nicholas Woodbridge. We have Jay Tryon with Mecklenburg County Parks and Recreation. And we have prize money presented by Mr. John Helmick, the UIPM Vice President. Let's give Nicholas Woodbridge a big round of applause, coming in 6th place. In 5th place, we have Thomas Daniel from Austria. So if we could have Thomas Daniel come on down. Flowers for Thomas are being presented by John McClellan, a volunteer with the Mecklenburg County Parks and Recreation. In 4th place, we have Adam Morosi from Hungary. Flowers are presented by Colonel Guy Troy, the Modern Pentathlon 1952 Olympian. And now, guys, we have our bronze medalist. Put your hands together for Alexander Lissoon from Russia. Flowers are presented by Mr. Tim Morgan, chairman of the local organizing committee. The medal is presented by Mr. John Holland, Noseka Confederation president. Let's give him a big round of applause, guys. The silver medal goes to Pavlo Timoshenko from Ukraine. Flowers are presented by Mr. Rob Stahl, the manager director of the USA Pentathlon, and he also had his name on the George S. Patton Trophy. The medal is presented by Mr. Ivor Sesniga, the UIPM Vice President. Let's give Pablo a big round of applause, guys. And now, for the gold medal, we have Ilya Frolov from Russia. Flowers are presented to Ilya by Mr. Tom Murray, the CEO of the Charlotte Regional Visitors Authority, and the medal is presented by Dr. Klaus Schorman, the UIPM president. Let's give all these great athletes a big round of applause. And if everybody would join our gold medal winner as we play the Russian national anthem. Congratulations to all of our athletes. And we have a special thanks to all the individuals with the Charlotte Local Organizing Committee, to Mecklenburg County Parks and Recreation, to USA Pentathlon, and to all of our sponsors who have made this great event possible. Congratulations to all of our athletes, and good luck this season. Guys, we have some important information about meals and transportation for tomorrow. Meals end tonight at dinner. Dinner is at 7 o'clock and goes until 8:30. Transportation to the airport is tomorrow. Your bus time is in your mailbox at the hotel. Please stick to this departure time because all of the many afternoon and evening departures. Please arrive in the lobby 15 minutes before your departure time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Once again, let's give a big round of applause for all of our great athletes and for all of our volunteers and everyone who made this great day possible. Give it up, guys.
One, two. So that's the scene we leave you with here at Charlotte, North Carolina. It's been a beautiful day. There's the sunset over Charlotte, and I'm afraid we don't have the final results up here. The results system hasn't been as fast as Ilya Frolov today, and we obviously that information will be available on pentathlon.org in due course, so we'll bring that back for you. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be in Rio in 6 days. We've got a bit of travelling to do. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to all the guys here, Mike, Mark and Rob, who are our main cameramen, Ken and Ryan, who did the volunteer camera job brilliantly. Thank you very much for that. And we'll be in Rio in 6 days' time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.